Welcome to part two in this mini series. Today, we're going to go over the cold email and cold calling systems. It's going to be pretty technical at times, but just be sure to have another Chrome tab open as well as this tab so you can follow along whilst we are implementing this. But by the end of it, you should have a working cold email system and be able to dial on the Go High level number. But we would have already had the basics out of the way from part one. So that's VSLs, websites, Go High level configuration. We've decided on the pricing. We've done a little bit of niche research, got a basic idea of our industry, what kind of methods we're using, and a rough idea of how we're going to deliver the service. The next step is going to be reverse engineering our goals. So let's say we have a primary goal of getting to 10K per month. We need to reverse engineer all of the meetings, show rates, etc., in the most prudent and pessimistic way as possible. We're going to be aiming to overestimate how many meetings we need. And once we have these numbers, it will give us clear objectives of what actually we need to do, and we can begin our focus work. Let me show you what this looks like. Let's begin our reverse engineering. So we have a goal of 10,000 US dollars in revenue per month. Okay. And let's say we're selling package sizes of $2,500. We're going to need 4 closes to achieve $10,000 in revenue. But what do we need to get those 4 closes? Well, let's be really prudent and say our closer or our salesman, not a very good closer, we have a 5% close rate on meetings. So we're going to actually need 80 showed meetings in that given month to get those 4 closes, which will then get us $10,000 in revenue. Let's be really prudent and say we don't really have a very good nurturing process for them to show up to the meetings. We don't have an ISA calling or anyone confirming the meetings, and we only have a 50% show rate. So we need 160 appointments booked. Now, let's say we're using email and we're being really prudent again. We have a 1% booking rate. We're going to need to send out 16,000 cold emails every single month, right? To get the 160 appointments booked, to get the $10,000, right? Now, we have to figure out the requirements that we require to send out 16,000 cold emails per month, because that's not an easy task. So we're going to need instantly sending at least 700 per day. We're going to need a solid lead list of 16,000 leads. We're going to need a VA to call the positive responses to get us that 1% booking rate. And we're going to need several workspace accounts, because obviously we can only send a certain amount of emails per day, right? And from these requirements that we need, we can then deduct the tasks and actions that we have to take right now to essentially achieve 10K per month. And I'm going to show you how it relates. So the task, you've got to watch these tutorials on Instantly. You don't even have to watch mine. You can watch loads of other tutorials on how to set up Instantly. And with that, how to import all of the workspace accounts and or any sort of Maildoso email accounts. To get the lead list, we're going to have to use Phantom Buster or another lead scoping thing that I'm going to go over later in this video. And then to VA, well, we might have to look at Upwork to source a VA. So if we are able to watch all the tutorials and implement all the stuff, get all the lead lists from Phantom Buster or Lead Scraper, find a solid VA who's going to call these leads up, and set up all the workspace accounts, then we can up the budget on Instantly to sending 700 per day. We have a lead list from which we can send these cold emails to. We have a VA who's going to call every single positive response, and we have all the workspace accounts set up. We will be able to send 16,000 cold emails. And again, being prudent, let's say 1% of them booked. That's 160 appointments booked. At a 50% show rate, that's 80 showed meetings for our closers. And let's say, our closers aren't very good again. 5% close rate, that's 4 closes. And times by 4, that is going to be $10,000 in revenue. So it really is that simple. Just deduct it down right to the tasks that you have to do now. Because if you do these tasks, this will come. Let's get back to the video. So there are a couple different options for lead scraping, and they're all automated. Don't be doing manual lead scraping anymore. And most importantly, stop using Apollo, because all of those leads are rinsed. I'm just going to go over the 3 main ones here. And the first one is Phantom Buster, right? And you can use this on many different apps and sort of softwares, because its APIs are really good. And what you can use it for is Google Maps. It then goes through and populates the data with their contact emails. You get 20 hours free, and then you can pay for an additional amount of hours for, I believe, around $59 US. Option 2 is going to be Instant Data Scraper. So this is really good because it's free, And I like using this for real estate. You can probably see it in my toolbar up there, but it's essentially just a extension, and you go on a website, you can basically scrape all the information of all of the prospects on that website. I really like it for real estate because it's got this locate next function, because if you press the locate next function, there's pages and pages of data. It can just automatically scrape. It takes control of your screen, and you can get thousands of leads at a time. You can also use it on Google Maps as well. Option 3. Now, this one is called SalesForge. I saw this recently, and SalesForge is actually just a normal email sending software, competitor to Instantly, I believe. But this is paid. And the reason I like this is because it gets you leads which haven't been completely rinsed already, because of its methodology to actually acquire these leads, which is getting government records and data sources other than, Google Maps or Realtor.com, these basic data sources. And it then populates a lead list from that has not already been rinsed. Now, once you've got those leads, we're going to go on to the email setup, right? And I'm just going to use Pork Bun for the domains. You can use Maildosso, which is way, way easier, okay, than using Pork Bun. But I'm just going to give you a quick walkthrough of how Pork Bun works right now. So you have gone to porkbun.com and you have gone to the sign-in page, and you're going to go ahead and create an account. So use all of this information here. I'm going to have to blur my email addresses out and phone number and where I live, obviously. But obviously put all that data there, click create account. Verification code from my email. I'm just going to go ahead and get that out. Put in your verification code. It's going to take you to automatically this page here. Go ahead and add your credit card. I'm not going to add that right now, obviously, because you would all see it. So once you've added your credit cards, we then want to go ahead and select our emails. To do this, we need to go to the Pork Bun homepage. Click that icon in the top left, and it's going to say search for your new domain. So let's say your company is Estately Consulting like ours. We want to come up with variations of that name. So for example, start.estatelyconsulting.com. Hit search. And it's going to come up with a bunch of ones which was pretty similar. So they've got start@estatelyconsulting.com. I'll probably add that since I need a couple domains here. Maybe we'll do, I know Go is not available because we already have that. Let's see if try.estatelyconsulting is available. Yep, it's going to be available here. Try@estatelyconsulting.com. We've added that. Then we can just do normal try.estately, so the one without the dot. Add that. So now we've got a couple different domains. Click on the basket, go ahead and continue to billing. Now, once you've done those, you're going to want to go ahead and click account here, click bulk management, and all of your domains will be uploaded here, and they will also be visible in the domain name section. Now, the next steps would be to follow what I've got written down on the sheet so you can set up all of those settings right. And let's continue back to the sheet so you can follow those instructions. So the last tutorial left off with domain management. The next steps that you have to do after that is click select all, click bulk actions, bulk manage, navigate to URL formatting, enter the domain traffic, either like estatelyconsulting.com in the forward traffic to, then head to the toggle advanced settings, permanent redirect, click submit. After you've done this step, you're going to want to be setting up the inboxes on Google Workspace or Microsoft Teams if you really want. So that's all of the complicated stuff like the DNS, licensing. That, again, is in our hybrid poaching program in the school group, or you can just use Maildosso and figure that out yourself. Now, the third step is Instantly, okay? And there's a couple key stages here. So the first one's importing the accounts. And I mentioned at the start in part 1 of this series, you need the hypergrowth plan for that. Warm up the accounts by clicking select all, bulk settings, setting the warm up settings there. And as for actual campaigns, this is from step C. So click the send arrow on each side, navigate to sequences, 4 steps, however many follow-ups you want. Select the schedule. We ideally recommend 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. EST. Let me just create that. And the options, these are some of the settings that we use in the options, but I'm going to share my screen now and go over the instantly setup so you can copy this side by side. So in this Instant Lead tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to warm up the emails. And I'm also going to go and show you how to set up the campaign and the exact settings that you should use. So there's going to be a checkbox here beside name. By the way, we're on the email accounts page here. Click this, select all 5, or however emails you bought from Porkbun or Maildoso, how many ever you've imported. Click bulk, edit settings. Now this is where you can set up all of the warm-up stuff. So the warm-ups basic settings here, think how many emails are we going to send today, and all of the information on how many you should be warming them up with is in our school group. But at the end of the day, you are going to be warming these up for a maximum of 2 weeks. You click save there, and that would be that. Now, the next step is setting up the campaigns. So click campaigns on the left here, add new, name your campaign. So Realtors V2. And here it will take you to the campaign view. So you can add your leads in a CSV file here. Sequences, so this is going to be your message flow. Now, let's say you wanted to have 1 initial email and 3 follow-ups. You need to press add step. And in each of these flows, you're able to write the subject line and also the kind of the text and the copy that you have in your emails. This would be follow-up 1, follow-up 2, follow-up 3, and all of your follow-ups and text would go in here. Schedule. Now, this is something that we're quite particular about. We want to be setting it to Eastern time like it already is, 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. We want to be sending on weekdays only. Options, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. So accounts, you've got to add all of the accounts that you're sending from here, all the accounts that are warmed up and healthy. Stop sending emails and reply. Click yes, enable, open tracking, link tracking. If you have links in there, click link tracking as well. Daily limit. So this is going to be the limit that you're going to send per day. And you've got to do the maths there. I believe we calculated 700. Show advanced options, that's fine. Custom tags, fine. Time gap between emails. So we recommend between 3 and 15 minutes. Max new leads per day. So this is going to be your number of email accounts times by the amount that you're going to be sending. So let's say that you have 20 email accounts and you're going to be sending in a maximum of 25 per day per email account. So that's 20 times by 25, 500 a day. Prioritize new leads, no. Vital matching, no. Allow risky emails, doesn't matter. CC, BC, and then you would go ahead and press launch. Okay, and that is essentially how you set up your outbound cold email campaign. So if you followed all of those instructions that I've just told you to do in Instantly and uploaded that lead list, you will have a working campaign. In the meantime, once those emails are warming up for that 1-2 weeks that you're warming them up for, you're going to want to source a VA off either Upwork or Indeed to call up the positive responses. Quick tip from myself, really, really important that you do this rather than just communicate with these guys over email. If you actually call them up, as soon as you positively respond, your booking rate is going to skyrocket. Okay. And yeah, there's a job posting there for that. But it should be noted with Cold DM, they're not going to get you clients instantaneously. Remember, this is going to take 2 weeks to warm up, right? And to get positive responses another couple days after that. So this is not going to work to get clients instantaneously. Neither will ads, neither will cold DM, because they all take a little bit of time to set up. There was only one really clear method that I know of that will be able to bring you cash within 5 days of setting up. And you guessed it, it is cold calling. My favorite, it cannot be defeated. So cold calling. I'm going to screen share my screen about how you go over and buy a number and go high level. I've done various tutorials. The one pinned on this channel is actually a tutorial about how to go ahead and just set up this whole cold calling system. But in terms of buying a number, you need to log into the app, navigate to the sub account you'd like to use, go to settings, scroll down to phone numbers, click add number, choose your country. In America, you're going to want to look at the first 3 digits of a state that you'd like to be registered. Like Florida, let's say one of the first digits or the first 3 digits of a Florida number are going to be 209. You're not going to want to be calling people in Florida with a number from Texas. They're going to instantly realize, hey, this is a marketing call and your pickup rates are going to be really, really low. And then you want to go ahead and click buy, refresh your browser. Come up with your cold calling script or just use the one pinned in the video on my channel. Get all the leads' names and into their Google Sheet by using Instant Data Scraper, and you should have all of the stuff ready to call. All the leads ready. You should have all the numbers sorted, named all the numbers, and then you're going to be ready to call. And you want to have the 4 tabs open. So you're going to want to have your Go High Level dialer, the script, the lead list if you haven't figured out how to put all the leads into Go High Level and create an auto dialer, and the Calendly booking page that we created in part 1 of this. Then you can go ahead and start dialing, start booking meetings for yourself, ideally as soon as possible, right? And something I found out recently is a really cool software called WAV, right? And it's a multi-line dialer specifically designed to be integrated for use in Go High Level. And essentially it can call 3 people at once. Now, I'm not affiliated with them at all, but there's a pretty good hack to get around, poor pickup rates, and you can get to 3 times as many people per hour. So if you are a one-man show and you are already booking around 5 meetings every single day from cold calling, then you can go ahead and do this for yourself, and then you can be booking 15. Right, really good hack. I believe it's only $129 US for the WAV subscription. But yeah, remember to book them in as soon as possible. And I'm just going to go ahead and send you guys, or go ahead and play the tutorial on how to go ahead and buy the numbers. So you're in Go High Level, and on the side, you're going to want to navigate to settings here in the bottom left. Select settings. Okay, now you're on your business profile name here, all of the information that you have here. Then you want to go scroll down on the left, click phone numbers. It's just loading. And all of your phone numbers will eventually appear here. You can see we've got loads and loads of different phone numbers for every location in America, right? But to add a number, click add number, add phone number. And let's say we wanted somewhere in, we wanted a California number. So we go filter. Well, I know the area code for California is 415. That's one of the many calling codes that you can have from California. First part of the number, apply. Okay, now click one of the numbers, and you can buy these numbers for, really, really cheap. So £1, $1.15. Proceed to buy. Give it a second to load. Yep, and now you have bought this number if you've already, and if you're going to set up this number, you want to name it California, US, and you want to select all of these settings. You've got to be very, very careful about which ones you do. So call recording, we want all of these calls to be recorded, right? Because then we can listen back and give ourselves coaching advice. And then we can also listen back to the cold callers when we hire them and see how they are doing. But those are all the settings that I use. Click save. And your phone number has been updated. Now, you are then going to want to refresh your tab. Click the phone number here. And all of the phone numbers will be loaded right here that you can go ahead and dial from. So yeah, that's how you do this kind of stuff. But stay tuned to part 3, where we'll be going over the sales process and how to optimize that.